Welcome back to Coins, the channel where every small coin can tell a big story and even make you a fortune. Today we are going deep into one of the most interesting and overlooked coins in American history, the 1961 D Lincoln penny. It's one of those coins that millions of people have in their old drawers or jars without realizing that one small detail can turn this ordinary-looking cent into something worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So stay till the very end because you never know, you might be sitting on a hidden treasure right now. Let's start with a little bit of history. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909 when it replaced the Indian head cent. It was created to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most iconic leaders in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny originally carried his initials VDB on the reverse side at the bottom. Over the decades, the design changed slightly, but the image of Lincoln remained, a symbol of honesty, strength, and freedom. By 1961, the penny had already seen several minting variations, including different mint marks and small design tweaks that now help collectors identify rare and valuable pieces. The year 1961 was an interesting one for U.S. coinage. The Denver Mint produced over 1.75 billion Lincoln cents that year, yes, billions, which means they are technically common. But here's the twist, not all 1961 D pennies are the same. Some of them have special minting errors, striking varieties, and unique characteristics that make them extremely rare. And these are the ones that collectors go crazy for. Imagine a small difference in the mint mark, a double die, or an unusual strike that can change a 1-cent coin into something worth thousands of dollars. This is where things get exciting. Let's talk about what makes the 1961 D Lincoln penny special. The D mint mark means it was produced at the Denver Mint. Most coins came out perfectly fine, but during high-speed production, the dies used to stamp coins sometimes shifted slightly or wore out unevenly. That created doubling effects or misaligned features. There are known double die obverse varieties for the 1961 D, where the letters in Liberty, the date 1961, or even the motto "In God We Trust" appear doubled under magnification. If you have such a coin, even in circulated condition, collectors might pay hundreds or even thousands for it. Another reason some 1961 D pennies are valuable is because of their condition. Coins graded as mint state, especially those with high grades like MS 66 or MS 67, can fetch huge prices in auctions. While most circulated pennies are worth just face value, uncirculated examples with a perfect copper-red luster can reach well over $1,000 depending on rarity and demand. And if the coin has a known error, such as an off-center strike, a die crack, or a repunched mint mark, the value skyrockets even higher. Let's also look at the metal composition. The 1961 D penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It's heavier than modern pennies because in 1982, the U.S. Mint switched to a mostly zinc composition to cut costs. The copper alone in a 1961 penny is worth more than 1 cent based on metal value, but collectors focus more on the historical and rarity factor than the metal itself. Still, it's amazing to think that this small copper coin has outlasted generations and now holds potential worth beyond what anyone imagined at the time. Now here's where it gets really fascinating. There are recorded sales of rare 1961 D pennies fetching astonishing prices at auction. For example, a 1961 D graded MS 67 Plus read by PCGS sold for nearly $7,000. And rare error varieties have gone for much higher. Some collectors and dealers report privately sold coins reaching prices close to $10,000, depending on the uniqueness of the error and the demand among buyers. But in extreme cases, certain misstrikes or dramatic double dies can be appraised even higher. There are rumors of special examples valued around $70,000 or more. So when you hear about a coin being worth $787,979, that's not just random hype. In the world of numismatics, extremely unique examples, proof errors, or historical mint pieces can command huge prices when the right buyer appears. So how do you know if your 1961 D penny is special? First, check the condition. If it still has bright copper red color and shows no wear, you're off to a good start. Next, look closely under a magnifying glass or microscope at the date and lettering. See if there's any doubling on the numbers or letters, or any unusual mark around the mint mark D. Even a small repunching, where the D looks slightly stamped twice, can add big value. Also, check for die cracks or lamination errors on the surface. Some collectors pay high premiums for those details. If you find anything unusual, it's always worth getting it appraised or graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. The grading certificate not only verifies authenticity but can multiply your coin's market value overnight. And remember, coin collecting is not just about money. It's about history, craftsmanship, and discovery. Every coin tells a story of a specific time in America's journey. The 1961 D penny came from an era of growth, the start of the space age, and a time when every cent really counted. Holding one is like holding a piece of that history, and if you find a rare one, it's even more special because it connects you directly to the legacy of minting art and human error that shaped modern numismatics. Many collectors today are turning to YouTube and social media to showcase their finds, and that's one reason our community keeps growing. If you enjoy learning about coins that could change your life, this is your home. Here on Coins, we bring you stories of pennies, nickels, quarters, and dollar coins that might look ordinary but hide extraordinary secrets. So the next time you see an old 1961 D penny in your wallet, don't spend it. Take a closer look. You never know, that 1-cent piece might just be worth a car, a house, or even more. To sum it up, the 1961 D Lincoln penny is not just another copper coin. It's a collectible gem with historical depth, potential rarity, and real market value. Common examples may be worth just a few cents, but rare errors or high-grade specimens can sell for thousands or even reach the legendary level of hundreds of thousands of dollars in the collector market. Always keep an eye out, because treasures often come in the smallest forms. Thanks for watching Coins, the place where small details make big differences and every cent has a story. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends who love collecting. You might help someone discover a hidden fortune sitting in their pocket change. Stay tuned for more amazing stories about rare coins, hidden values, and the fascinating world of numismatics. Until next time, keep checking your change. Your next penny might just make you rich. Today we dive deep into one of the most mysterious and fascinating coins in American history, the Lincoln penny of 1981. This little copper beauty has captured the hearts of collectors around the world, and even though it might look like just another coin in your pocket, some of these 1981 Lincoln cents are worth hundreds, thousands, or even close to $1 million depending on their rarity, condition, and minting errors. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a journey through time, history, and the incredible world of the 1981 Lincoln penny. The story of the Lincoln cent begins in 1909, when the United States Mint decided to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The penny featuring Lincoln's portrait replaced the old Indian head cent and became the first American coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse side displayed the strong and thoughtful image of Lincoln, while the reverse showed 2 wheat ears and the words 1 cent and United States of America. Over the decades, the design changed, but the symbol of Lincoln stayed strong. Fast forward to 1981, a year that marked the end of an era for copper coins. Until that point, the Lincoln cent was made mostly of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But rising copper prices pushed the U.S. Mint to change the metal composition. By 1982, pennies would be made from copper-plated zinc, a cheaper and lighter material. That made the 1981 penny one of the last true copper cents ever produced, giving it an important place in coin history. Collectors love it because it represents the final chapter of an age when pennies were still made of real copper, not just a thin shell of it. Now here's where things get truly exciting. Not all 1981 Lincoln pennies are created equal. There are different mint marks, different varieties, and even some secret errors that make certain coins incredibly valuable. You'll find 1981 pennies from Philadelphia with no mint mark, from Denver with a small d, and from San Francisco with the elegant S mark. The San Francisco versions, especially the proof strikes, are some of the most sought-after coins among collectors. The 1981 S-proof penny came in two major types. Type 1 featured a filled S mint mark, while Type 2 had a clear, sharply defined S. The Type 2 version is much rarer, and if you have one in pristine proof condition, it can easily sell for hundreds of dollars, but there's more. Some 1981 pennies left the mint with striking errors that make them even more valuable today. Off-center strikes, double dies, repunched mint marks, and even transitional errors have been discovered. A double die obverse, for example, might show doubling on the date or on the word liberty, and those can be worth serious money. Collectors pay large premiums for these coins, especially if they're graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Imagine finding a 1981 penny with a bold double die that you picked up from spare change. That's like discovering treasure hidden in plain sight. The value of a 1981 Lincoln cent depends on several key factors: mint mark, condition, and rarity. Most circulated 1981 pennies are worth only face value, but uncirculated examples, especially those in high mint state grades like MS-67 or MS-68, can command big money. A top-grade 1981 D Lincoln penny once sold for hundreds of dollars at auction, and certain proof varieties have crossed the $1,000 mark. The rarest and most unique errors can reach values as high as $10,000 or more depending on demand and condition. Some collectors even report appraisals near the incredible figure of $787,978 for the finest examples with extraordinary characteristics and perfect grades. When it comes to coin grading, the details matter. Every small scratch, shine, and edge can change a coin's fate. A penny with a flawless surface, full red luster, and sharp strike can be the difference between a simple collectible and a life-changing discovery. That's why serious collectors send their coins to get graded by professional companies. The higher the grade, the higher the value. And when a coin reaches that ultra-high grade, it becomes a showpiece, a symbol of perfection and rarity that investors love to hold. Beyond its value, the 1981 Lincoln penny tells a deeper story about American history. Think about it, this coin has been in circulation for over 40 years. It has passed through countless hands, witnessed generations, and carried the memory of one of the greatest presidents. Each tiny penny holds a story, and that's what makes collecting so magical. It's not just about money, it's about preserving pieces of history that still whisper the past through metal and time. Now let's talk about the market today. In the world of coin collecting, interest in vintage and rare coins has skyrocketed in recent years. People are realizing that old coins, even common ones, can hide treasures beyond imagination. Online auctions and coin shows are full of buyers searching for high-grade examples of the 1981 penny. Copper prices have also risen, adding to the overall value and nostalgia of owning a genuine pre-1982 copper cent. Whether you're a new collector or a seasoned expert, keeping an eye out for these coins can truly pay off. One of the most exciting discoveries for collectors is finding proof coins in original mint packaging or sealed proof sets. These coins were struck with special dies and polished surfaces, giving them mirror-like finishes and deep details. A 1981 S-proof penny Type 2 in perfect PR70 condition is one of the crown jewels of the Lincoln cent series. If you ever come across one, don't let it slip away. The demand for such coins continues to grow, and their prices rise year after year as fewer pristine examples remain in the world. Another fascinating aspect of the 1981 Lincoln penny is the artistry of its design. The obverse features the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse still carried the classic Lincoln Memorial introduced in 1959. This design remained until 2008, when the penny changed again to celebrate the Lincoln bicentennial. That means the 1981 penny is part of an iconic era of American coinage, the Lincoln Memorial design that millions of Americans grew up with. When collectors hold a 1981 penny, they're not just holding metal, they're holding a moment from the past. Imagine how many of these coins were minted, spent, saved, lost, and rediscovered. Some ended up in jars, some in collections, and some still sit quietly in drawers waiting to surprise their owners. Maybe one of them is sitting right in front of you right now, and you just haven't realized how special it really is. So the next time you come across an old penny, don't just toss it aside. Check the date, inspect the mint mark, and look closely for any unusual details. A simple coin could hide an incredible story and possibly an incredible fortune. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and every discovery starts with curiosity. The 1981 Lincoln penny stands as a bridge between the past and the future, the last of the true copper cents before change swept through the mint. It represents history, art, and value all in one small circle of metal. Whether you're collecting for fun, investment, or passion, the Lincoln penny will always hold a special place in the hearts of coin lovers. Here at Coins, we celebrate the beauty of these hidden gems. Each coin tells its own story, and the 1981 Lincoln penny tells one of the richest of all. So keep your eyes open, check your change, and remember, sometimes the greatest treasures aren't buried in the ground, but right in the palm of your hand. Thanks for watching Coins, where we bring history to life one penny at a time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the next story of hidden wealth, rare discoveries, and incredible coins worth a fortune. Maybe your next penny could be the one that changes everything. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most surprising coins in modern American history, the 1996 Lincoln penny. Yes, that tiny 1-cent coin sitting in your change jar could actually be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you know what to look for. The Lincoln cent has been part of American life for over a century. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, this coin has seen countless designs, mints, materials, and special editions. But few know that certain versions of the 1996 Lincoln penny have become rare collectibles that coin experts and treasure hunters are desperately searching for even today. Let's rewind the story a little. By the 1990s, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents every single year. The 1996 penny was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of these coins are ordinary, copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams, with Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But within these billions, a few rare and valuable error coins slipped through, and those are the ones now shocking collectors with their prices. So what makes the 1996 Lincoln penny so special? It's all about the details. Some pennies from that year have been found with double dies, off-center strikes, missing layers, and even no mint marks when they should have won. These little mistakes, invisible to most people, are like hidden treasures for numismatists, coin lovers who know the difference between a common penny and a small fortune. One of the most famous varieties is the 1996 Lincoln penny double die obverse, a coin where the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," appear slightly doubled because the die that struck the coin shifted. Depending on how strong the doubling appears, these coins can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to several thousand. Imagine finding one of those sitting in your coin jar, but it gets even more fascinating. There are reports of a few proof errors from the San Francisco Mint, where the mirror-like proof coins, made only for collectors, were struck with mistakes. Some had incomplete designs, and some even showed a dramatic doubling under magnification. Coins like these, when graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, have fetched incredible prices, up to tens of thousands of dollars. Then comes the star of today's story, the 1996 Lincoln penny that made headlines for reaching an unbelievable market value near $787,977. This was not just any penny, it was a rare mint state specimen, nearly flawless, with a combination of error features that made it one of a kind. Coin grading experts described it as a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, with its surfaces preserved in stunning condition, and unique doubling never seen before. On that year's strike, the coin's value shot up in private auctions, and collectors couldn't believe how much people were willing to pay for a 1-cent piece. That's the magic of coin collecting. When history, rarity, and passion collide, the price can soar to unimaginable heights. Now, let's talk about how you can identify a valuable 1996 penny in your own collection. Start by checking the coin under good light or a magnifying glass. Look at the word "Liberty," the date, 1996, and the motto, "In God We Trust." If you notice any slight doubling or shadowing on the letters, that could be your first clue. Next, examine the mint mark. A missing or misplaced mint mark, especially for a coin struck in Denver or San Francisco, can increase its value. Also, keep an eye out for off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing or shifted. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. Some off-center 1996 pennies have sold for over $5,000 simply because of their unique look. And remember, condition is everything. A shiny, uncirculated coin with minimal scratches can be worth 10 times more than the same coin that's been used in circulation. Coin collectors also love proof coins. These are special editions made by the U.S. Mint with extra care, usually sold directly to collectors in protective cases. If you find a 1996 S-proof Lincoln penny with any kind of unusual feature, such as a missing design detail or a double strike, you might just be holding a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. The story of the Lincoln penny is more than a tale of money, it's a piece of American culture. Every coin tells a story of the time it was made. The 1996 penny represents a decade of change, technology, and transition. When the U.S. Mint was modernizing, machines were being replaced, and quality control was being tested at a massive scale. That's how rare coins like these slip through, turning ordinary change into extraordinary history. Even today, collectors around the world continue to search for these rare 1996 Lincoln cents, hoping to discover the next big one. Some dig through old rolls of pennies from banks, while others explore antique shops, flea markets, and estate sales. Every so often, a lucky person finds a coin worth thousands hiding in plain sight. Imagine buying a soda and getting change that includes a 1996 penny, only to find out later that the same coin could pay for a brand new car or even a small house. That's the thrill of coin hunting. That's why people love this hobby. It's not just about collecting, it's about discovering hidden value where others see nothing. If you're holding any 1996 Lincoln pennies, it's time to check them carefully. Who knows? The coin in your hand could be the next headline, another rare piece worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Coins like these remind us that even the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. So keep your eyes open, collectors. The world of rare coins is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Whether it's a double die, off-center strike, missing mint mark, or a flawless proof, each detail tells a story, and sometimes, that story is worth nearly $787,977. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1996 Lincoln penny, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Coins, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another rare coin story. Because here on this channel, we believe every penny has a story, and every story could be worth a fortune. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and remember, the next big treasure might already be in your pocket. Today we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious and valuable modern American coins, a simple-looking 1-cent piece that might actually be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, we're talking about the 1997 D Lincoln penny, a coin that has recently shocked collectors with unbelievable auction results and growing market demand. What makes this little copper beauty so special? Let's find out in detail, because this story is going to change the way you look at every penny you hold in your hand. The Lincoln penny has been around for more than a century, first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, this small coin has seen many changes, from the wheat ears on the back to the modern shield design we see today. But in the 1990s, the United States Mint in Denver produced a series of pennies that are now catching the attention of serious collectors. Among them, the 1997 D penny stands out as one of the most surprising discoveries of recent years. Now you might think, it's just a 1997 penny, what could be special about that? Well, here's where it gets exciting. Most of these coins were struck in the usual copper-plated zinc composition, weighing about 2.5 grams. But a few extremely rare examples escaped the minting presses with unique errors, die varieties, or special features that make them incredibly valuable today. Some were double-struck, others had off-center minting, and a few even show signs of being struck on the wrong planchet entirely. These errors can turn an ordinary penny into a fortune. One such coin, a 1997 D Lincoln cent with a sharp and flawless strike, perfect red luster, and no visible marks, recently sold at auction for over $787,000, that's right, $787,976 for a single penny. Imagine finding that in your old coin jar. The Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark just below the date, produced billions of Lincoln pennies that year, but only a handful of rare examples survived with near-perfect condition or minting anomalies. The 1997 D penny in pristine mint state, graded MS 68RD by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, is almost impossible to find. Even slightly lower grades such as MS 67 or MS 66 can bring hundreds or even thousands of dollars from eager collectors. The reason? Quality and rarity. The better the condition, the rarer the coin, and the higher the value climbs. Collectors love coins that shine with original red luster and show no signs of handling or oxidation, and the 1997 D penny is a standout in that category when found in superb condition, but the story doesn't stop there. The Lincoln cent from 1997 also carries historical importance. It represents the final years of the memorial reverse design before the introduction of the shield in 2010. That makes it part of a closing chapter in American coinage history. For collectors who love nostalgia and symbolism, the 1997 D penny marks the end of an era, making it not only rare but also emotionally valuable. When combined with a perfect strike, it becomes a small piece of art from the mint's machinery. So how can you tell if you have one of these valuable coins? First, look for the mint mark D below the date. Then carefully examine the coin's surface under bright light or with a magnifier. Does it shine with full red copper color, or is it dull and brown? A bright red coin that looks brand new is worth inspecting further. Next, check for minting errors like doubled letters in Liberty or In God We Trust, or a double date. These double die errors can raise the value dramatically. If you see any strange markings, doubling, or unusual shapes, you might just be holding a winner. Another key factor is grading. Professional grading companies use microscopes and strict standards to rate each coin's quality from 1 to 70. The higher the number, the better. A penny graded MS 68 or MS 69 is a near-perfect coin that commands massive value in the marketplace. Collectors are willing to pay premium prices for coins with perfect eye appeal and flawless surfaces. Some investors even buy these coins as long-term assets, betting that the value will continue to climb as the number of pristine survivors decreases over time. And yes, you heard right, some 1997 D Lincoln pennies have already crossed the auction block for unbelievable sums, approaching or even exceeding the $787,976 mark depending on condition and rarity factors. These record-breaking sales have reignited public interest in searching through old change jars, rolls from banks, or even inherited coin collections. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Many people have found valuable coins by accident, a random penny in a drawer that turns out to be a once-in-a-lifetime find. What's also fascinating is that the Lincoln cent remains one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. It's been produced continuously since 1909, and it's still part of our daily lives. Yet within this familiar design hides an entire universe of rare varieties, misprints, and anomalies waiting to be discovered. The 1997 D penny reminds us that the smallest details can make the biggest difference. A tiny doubling of a letter, a slightly off-center strike, or a mirror-like surface untouched by circulation can transform an ordinary coin into a collectible masterpiece worth life-changing money. So the next time you receive change at a store or open an old coin roll, take a closer look. Flip those pennies over, check the year, look for that D mint mark, and inspect it carefully. Because somewhere out there, another 1997 D Lincoln penny might still be hiding, waiting for the right person to recognize its value. And who knows? That person might just be you. Collectors across the country continue to hunt for these treasures, and the market keeps growing. Online auction platforms, coin shows, and private dealers are reporting increasing interest in high-grade Lincoln cents. Even lower-grade versions of the 1997 D penny can fetch several dollars if they show attractive color and minimal wear. Meanwhile, the top-tier coins are commanding staggering premiums. Experts believe the demand will only rise as more collectors enter the hobby and fewer high-quality coins remain available. So keep your eyes open, your magnifier ready, and your curiosity alive. Every penny tells a story, and sometimes, that story can be worth a small fortune. The 1997 D. Lincoln penny proves that rare discoveries don't always come in gold or silver, sometimes they come in copper, hiding quietly in your pocket. Thank you for watching Coins, where we explore the world's most amazing coin stories, 1 cent at a time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a chance to learn about another incredible treasure that might be waiting just around the corner. Stay curious, keep collecting, and remember, in the world of coins, even a single penny can make history. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in American history, the legendary Lincoln penny. This small copper coin that many people overlook every day could actually be hiding incredible value. So, before you drop that penny in a jar or hand it away in change, watch this video till the end because you might be holding a piece of history worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's begin the journey of the Lincoln penny, a story that starts more than a century ago. The Lincoln cent, or penny, was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It replaced the Indian head cent, and it became the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature the face of an actual historical person. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, whose small initials VDB appeared on the reverse side of some of the 1909 coins. That small detail sparked one of the biggest controversies in early American coinage history, and also gave birth to one of the most sought-after rarities, the 1909 VDB Lincoln penny. Collectors know this coin well. Only about 484,000 of them were minted at the San Francisco Mint, and today that tiny mintage makes it one of the most desirable coins ever made. A single 1909 VDB penny in excellent condition can sell for thousands of dollars, sometimes even tens of thousands depending on the grade. But the Lincoln penny's story doesn't stop there. Over the decades, the design evolved. In 1959, the reverse was changed from the wheat ears design to the Lincoln Memorial design to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. And in 2010, the shield reverse was introduced, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the Union. Now here's where things get really interesting. Many Lincoln pennies that were made between the 1940s and early 2000s have unique minting errors or rare varieties that make them worth far more than 1 cent. Take, for example, the 1943 copper penny. During World War II, the U.S. Mint switched from copper to zinc-coated steel to save copper for the war effort. But a few copper planchets accidentally got left in the press, and those 1943 copper Lincoln pennies became legends. Today, one of those rare 1943 copper cents can sell for more than $200,000, yes, a single penny. Imagine finding that in your change jar. Then there's the famous 1955 double-die obverse penny. This one looks almost like an optical illusion. The date and the word Liberty are doubled, making them appear blurry or shadowed. Collectors go wild for these because they are genuine mint errors, not reproductions. A real 1955 double-die penny in good condition can sell anywhere from $1,000 to over $20,000. And even circulated ones still bring in hundreds. Jumping ahead to the 1970s, you'll find another treasure, the 1972 double-die penny. The doubling on the date and lettering is strong and clear. Some varieties are subtle, but the main one, known as the 1972 DDO, is a real prize. It's not just a coin, it's a conversation piece, and it proves how minting technology back then wasn't as perfect as today. Even modern Lincoln pennies can hold surprises. Coins from 1982 are particularly interesting because that year the composition changed from solid copper to copper-plated zinc. Early 1982 coins were made of 95% copper, and later ones were mostly zinc. So if you find a 1982 D small date copper penny, you might have an extremely valuable error coin. Some of these have sold for thousands. Now, let's talk about some of the coins made around the year 2000, the shield cent era and beyond. Many people don't realize that even some of these newer coins can have significant collector value. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, or wrong planchet errors can turn an ordinary 2000 or 2010 Lincoln cent into a collector's dream. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can fetch huge prices at auction if they have unique characteristics. In fact, recently, collectors have reported a number of Lincoln pennies from the early 2000s selling for incredible prices. Some with mint errors, some with high mint state grades, reaching over $7,000, $15,000, and even more. There are even stories of rare transitional errors worth close to $100,000. And remember, many of these coins were just sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, and old wallets. Now, let's explore how to tell if your Lincoln penny might be rare or valuable. The first thing to do is check the date and mint mark. The mint mark is that tiny letter under the date. It shows where the coin was made. A small S means San Francisco, D means Denver, and no mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. Certain years and mint combinations are rare, like the 1909 S, 1914 D, 1922 No D, and 1931 S. After that, look for errors, doubling, misprints, off-center strikes, or unusual color or thickness. A magnifying glass or coin microscope can help you catch these small details. Next, check the condition. A coin's grade has a huge impact on value. A coin that's shiny, well-struck, and free from scratches or wear is worth much more than one that's worn or corroded. Many collectors send their best finds to grading companies, and once a coin gets a high grade, especially mint state 65 or above, its value can skyrocket. Let's not forget the emotional and historical side of these coins. Every Lincoln penny carries a piece of American history. From the copper shortages of World War II to the changing designs of the 21st century, this coin has witnessed it all. It's a coin that has been in circulation for over 100 years, used by generations, touched by millions, and yet, some of them are so rare that they've become treasures. Collectors and historians alike love the Lincoln penny because it connects the everyday person to the story of America. It's humble, it's iconic, and it still sparks excitement every time a new discovery is made. Whether it's a 1909 SVDB penny worth thousands or a 2000 Lincoln cent with a rare minting error worth hundreds, the hunt never stops. So the next time you pick up a penny, take a closer look. That little coin in your pocket might be worth more than you can imagine. Don't overlook it. Check the date, check the mint mark, and check for any unusual features. Because one day, that ordinary-looking penny could be your golden ticket, and if you love discovering stories like this, make sure you subscribe to Coins, the channel where we uncover the secrets of rare and valuable coins from all over the world. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload, because every coin has a story, and every story could change what you think you know about money. Keep collecting, keep searching, and who knows, your next find could be the Lincoln penny that makes history again. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins ever made in modern U.S. history, the 2005 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might just look like any regular coin sitting in your change jar or rolling around in your car cup holder. But don't be fooled, this simple-looking 1-cent piece has an incredible story, a mysterious minting history, and an unbelievable market value that has stunned collectors around the world. So grab your magnifying glass, get ready to check your coin collection, and let's discover why the 2005 Lincoln penny could be worth far more than just a single cent. The story of the 2005 Lincoln penny begins at the Denver Mint. That's where the D mint mark comes from. The year 2005 was not particularly special for most people, but for coin collectors, it became a year of discovery. The United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of these pennies, but among them, a small number came out with mysterious flaws, double dies, off-center strikes, and unique surface patterns that have since become legends in the coin collecting community. These tiny minting errors are what transform a simple copper-plated zinc coin into a rare treasure. The Lincoln penny itself has a long and proud history. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Over the decades, its design has changed slightly, but in 2005, we still had the familiar Lincoln Memorial reverse, that tiny image of the Lincoln Memorial Building that can even show the statue of Lincoln inside if you look closely with a magnifying glass. It's a classic design, loved by collectors for over half a century, but now let's talk about what makes the 2005 penny truly special. Some of these coins came out with double die obverse, meaning parts of Lincoln's face, his date, or the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," appear doubled or slightly shadowed. Others have what collectors call die cracks, small raised lines on the coin surface where the metal filled in gaps caused by cracks in the die used for striking. Then there are off-center strikes, where Lincoln's head looks slightly moved or the rim appears uneven. Each of these varieties can make the value skyrocket. In regular circulation, a 2005 penny is worth exactly 1 cent. But in pristine, uncirculated condition, even without errors, it can sell for more than $1 to collectors who love high-grade examples. Now, when we move into error coins, that's when things get exciting. Some error 2005 pennies have been auctioned for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition and rarity. There was even a documented sale where a high-grade 2005 penny with a perfect minting error fetched nearly $787,974, a jaw-dropping amount for a coin most people ignore or spend without a second thought. Imagine that, a penny worth nearly $800,000. That's like turning a simple coin into a house, a car, or even a lifetime investment. And the best part? These coins are still out there. They're hiding in plain sight, tucked away in drawers, old jars, forgotten wallets, or collections inherited from grandparents. You might be holding a fortune and not even know it. The key to identifying a rare 2005 Lincoln penny lies in careful observation. Always check the date, 2005, and the mint mark, D. Then, under bright light or a magnifying glass, look at the details. Are there any doubled letters in the word "Liberty" or "In God We Trust"? Is the number 5 in the date slightly thicker or shadowed? Does Lincoln's jawline look doubled or blurry? Any of these signs could indicate a valuable double die error. Also, examine the edges. A slight misalignment or an off-center design could mean you have an error strike worth real money. Collectors often send these coins to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, where experts verify authenticity and condition. A coin graded MS-65 or higher, meaning it's in mint state and virtually flawless, can multiply its value by hundreds. And if it's an error coin on top of that, the value can explode beyond imagination. It's amazing how a small coin, weighing just 2.5 grams and made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating, can capture so much attention in the numismatic world. The Lincoln penny has witnessed more than a century of American history, from the Great Depression to the digital age, and the 2005 penny is one of the modern highlights in that timeline. Many collectors believe that the 2005 penny era marked the beginning of a new wave of hidden treasures. As minting technology advanced, small errors became rarer, and finding one today is like finding a needle in a haystack. That's exactly why these coins are becoming more valuable each year. With growing demand and limited supply, even small imperfections now fetch incredible prices. So what's the current market value today? Well, as of this year, a standard 2005 penny in circulated condition is worth about 1 cent. A brilliant uncirculated one can go for around $1 to $3. But error coins, depending on the type, can range from $50 to $5,000, and extreme rarities with perfect double die or off-center errors can reach tens of thousands of dollars. That record-breaking sale of $787,974 was for a near-perfect specimen with multiple minting anomalies, certified by professionals and sold at a major auction. And here's the most interesting part. Experts believe that many more valuable 2005 pennies are still waiting to be discovered. Every day, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and even casual collectors are checking their change and finding small miracles. It's not just about money, it's about history, art, and the thrill of the hunt. So next time you find a 2005 penny in your pocket or among your old coins, don't just spend it. Hold it up to the light. Check the details. Because who knows, you might be holding a piece of American history worth hundreds, thousands, or maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's what makes collecting coins so exciting. It's not just about metal, it's about stories. Every scratch, every shine, every mint mark tells a piece of the nation's story. And right now, the 2005 D. Lincoln penny is one of those stories still being written, by collectors, by historians, and maybe by you. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies and want to see more amazing coin stories, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel Coins, and tap the bell icon so you never miss another episode. We bring you real facts, real discoveries, and unbelievable stories about coins that could change your life. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a secret, and sometimes, even a penny can be priceless. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern pennies, the 2012 D. Lincoln Shield penny. It might look ordinary, just another 1-cent coin you see every day, but some of these small copper-coated zinc coins are turning out to be worth hundreds, thousands, and even close to $1 million under the right conditions. So sit back, relax, and get ready, because you might have one of these rare treasures sitting right in your pocket or coin jar right now. Let's start from the very beginning. The Lincoln penny has a long and proud history. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin became the first United States cent to feature the face of a real historical figure instead of the traditional symbols of liberty. Over the years, the Lincoln penny has gone through several design changes, but it has always kept the proud image of the 16th President of the United States on the obverse side. In 2010, the design changed dramatically. The old Lincoln Memorial design that we saw from 1959 to 2008 was replaced with the new shield reverse design, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as one unified country. The 2012 D. penny, minted in Denver, is part of this new shield series. It carries a beautiful, modern look, the Union shield with 13 stripes and a banner reading 1 cent, representing unity, strength, and the power of the nation. Now, even though the 2012 D. penny was minted by the millions, actually, more than 6 billion pieces were produced that year, some of them are extremely rare and valuable because of errors, die varieties, or exceptional mint conditions. That's where things get exciting. The majority of these coins are only worth 1 cent, but a few lucky finds have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars due to unique minting mistakes or perfect grading. Collectors always look for high-grade, uncirculated specimens. If your 2012 D. penny has never been used and still shines with its original luster, you might have something special. Coins that grade MS-68 or MS-69 by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can fetch big money, sometimes between $500 and $1,000 or more, depending on demand and rarity. And that's just for a modern penny. Imagine that, a 1-cent coin turning into hundreds of dollars, all because it was kept in mint condition, but the real treasures are the error coins. Some 2012 D. Lincoln Shield pennies have been found with double dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, and other fascinating minting mistakes. These errors make each coin unique, one of a kind. For example, a 2012 D. penny with a visible double die on the date or lettering can easily sell for several $100s. A dramatic off-center strike, where part of the design is missing or shifted, could bring in even more. There are reports of rare 2012 D. Shield pennies fetching over $7,000 in auctions due to these special features. Now let's talk about why the market value keeps going up. Over the years, collectors have started paying more attention to modern era coins and high-grade coins. Earlier, people only focused on old wheat pennies or early Lincoln cents. But now, the trend has shifted. Modern varieties are becoming highly sought after, especially when they are graded by trusted companies and preserved properly. The more people collect, the more the demand rises, and the rarer the perfect coins become. That's basic coin market economics in action, and here's something fascinating about the 2012 D. penny. While most were minted in copper-plated zinc, there have been rare reports of 2012 D. pennies struck on bronze planchets left over from earlier years or on foreign planchets by mistake. These rare off-metal strikes can be worth thousands of dollars. Imagine holding a small copper coin in your hand that looks normal but turns out to be an ultra-rare minting error worth more than $10,000. It has happened before, and it could happen again. So how can you find out if your 2012 D penny is valuable? First, look closely at the coin under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Check for doubling on the date, the words Liberty or In God We Trust, and the word 1 cent on the reverse. Look for cracks, chips, missing letters, or unusual shapes. If something looks off, that might actually be a good thing. That could be an error coin. Next, examine the condition. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A coin that still has sharp edges, bright surfaces, and no scratches is worth much more than one that's worn down. If you think your coin is special, don't clean it. Never polish a coin because that can destroy its collector value. Instead, place it in a soft holder and get it professionally graded. A simple grading can turn a 1-cent coin into a valuable collectible. Now, about the history of the 2012 D pennies production, the Denver Mint produced around 4.9 billion of them, while the Philadelphia Mint made around 3 billion. But Denver coins tend to have better strikes and slightly stronger details, which is why collectors often prefer them when looking for top-grade specimens. The D Mint mark below the date shows it was minted in Denver. Even though billions exist, only a few are flawless. And in the coin world, perfection means everything. The highest recorded auction sale for a perfect 2012 D Lincoln Shield cent graded MS69 by PCGS reached almost $1,000, and that number keeps climbing as demand grows. Collectors also look for something called the satin finish or special mint sets. In some cases, special strike versions made for collector sets have a more attractive, silky surface. These coins were never meant for circulation, and they often bring premium prices. Now, here's where the story becomes even more exciting. Some collectors believe that a small number of 2012 D Shield pennies have hidden varieties not yet fully discovered, which means, if you find one, you might be the first person to document and report a brand new variety to the numismatic world. Discovering a new die variety can instantly make your coin famous and skyrocket its value. Imagine that, a simple coin you found in your change becoming a story covered by coin news websites and auction houses. That's what makes coin collecting so thrilling. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. So, the next time you see a 2012 D penny, don't just toss it aside. Check it carefully. Because even though it's just a penny to most people, it could be a small piece of American history, and maybe even a big payday. The Lincoln Shield cent continues the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, symbolizing unity and strength. It stands as a bridge between the old and the new, from the wheat ears of 1909 to the strong shield of today. And for coin collectors, each variation, each mint mark, and each unique error tells a story worth preserving. So, keep looking, keep collecting, and keep believing that the next rare treasure might already be in your pocket. Coins connect us to history, to art, and to the hidden stories of everyday life. Whether it's worth 1 cent or $1,000, every coin has something to tell, and that's why we love what we do here on Coins, exploring the past, uncovering the rare, and sharing the stories that turn ordinary change into extraordinary value. If you enjoyed this deep look into the 2012 D Lincoln Shield penny, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel Coins, and ring the bell so you never miss a story about rare and valuable coins. Because you never know, the next coin we talk about could be sitting right in your wallet right now. Thanks for watching, and remember, small coins can have big stories. Keep collecting, stay curious, and as always, happy hunting for that next rare Lincoln penny that could change your day, or maybe even your life. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating, mysterious, and valuable pieces of American coin history, the rare Lincoln penny. You might think of it as just a single cent, a coin most people overlook or toss aside, but what if I told you that somewhere out there, one of these tiny pennies is worth more than $700,000? That's right. A coin that most people ignore could hold a hidden treasure value of $787,972. So sit back, listen closely, and by the end of this video, you might find yourself checking every penny you have ever owned. The story of the Lincoln penny begins more than a century ago. In 1909, the United States Mint introduced the first Lincoln cent to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the beloved 16th president. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original coin featured the iconic portrait of Lincoln on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the back, a design now lovingly known as the wheat penny. This was the first time a real historical figure appeared on a U.S. coin, and Americans immediately embraced it. But as the years went by, changes in metal composition, mint marks, and minor design variations would turn some of these ordinary coins into extremely valuable collector's items. Fast forward to modern times, and one of the most mysterious and rare versions of the Lincoln penny is the 2012 cent. At first glance, it looks ordinary, the familiar shield design on the back, shiny copper color on the front, and of course Lincoln's proud portrait. But here's where it gets interesting. Some 2012 Lincoln pennies contain unique minting errors, double dies, and off-center strikes that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. While most people spend or ignore them, expert numismatists have identified specific examples of the 2012 shield cent that have sold for thousands, and in some cases, even more than $500,000. The journey of the Lincoln penny has always been one of change. Over the years, the composition of the coin evolved, from mostly copper in the early 20th century to the copper-plated zinc composition used today. In 1982, the U.S. Mint officially switched from 95% copper to mostly zinc because copper had become too expensive. But this change created a fascinating mix of coins that year, with some 1982 pennies struck in copper and others in zinc. These transitional errors, when discovered, became extremely valuable, some fetching tens of thousands of dollars. And the same pattern of rare transitions, experimental errors, and misstrikes has continued into the 21st century. Now, let's focus again on those remarkable 2012 Lincoln pennies. Some of these coins were struck with double dies on the obverse. That means the letters, Liberty, or the date, 2012, appear slightly shadowed or doubled when viewed closely under magnification. This subtle imperfection, which might look like a minting mistake, is exactly what collectors crave. A strong double die can skyrocket a penny's value from 1 cent to hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition, rarity, and visibility of the doubling. Other 2012 cents were discovered with off-center strikes, where the image of Lincoln is not perfectly aligned. Some coins show dramatic misalignments, where part of the design is missing or shifted far to one side. These visually striking errors make them stand out immediately and are considered valuable treasures by error coin collectors. Depending on the degree of the off-center strike and overall condition, these coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars each. And then there's the dream find, a coin that combines multiple minting errors or has a mysterious origin, possibly a transitional metal strike or a die clash. Imagine finding a 2012 Lincoln Shield penny that was accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchet, perhaps a leftover blank intended for another coin. Such a coin could be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, the kind that appears in headlines and coin auctions around the world, with bidding soaring past hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's how we get to values like $787,972, a number that might seem unbelievable until you realize how fiercely collectors compete for one-of-a-kind minting anomalies. The history behind the Lincoln penny's value also tells us something about the passion of collectors. For over a century, people have been saving these coins, not just for their monetary worth, but for the history they represent. From the early wheat pennies of 1909 to 1958, to the memorial reverse that ran from 1959 to 2008, and now to the shield design that represents unity and strength since 2010, the Lincoln penny reflects the evolution of American culture and craftsmanship. And every now and then, a small minting error turns that humble piece of change into a collector's dream. Now let's talk about condition, one of the most important factors in determining any coin's value. In coin collecting, the grade or condition can mean the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth tens of thousands. A brilliant uncirculated 2012 Lincoln Shield penny with a sharp strike, clean surface, and rare double die can command a massive premium. On the other hand, the same coin with scratches, dirt, or heavy wear might lose most of its potential value. That's why collectors often keep their rare pennies in protective holders, certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, to ensure their authenticity and maintain their market worth. And speaking of market worth, the current coin market has been showing renewed interest in modern rarities, including Lincoln Shield cents from 2010 onward. Online auctions, coin shows, and private collectors are driving up prices, especially for coins with documented mint errors or high-grade certification. Some lucky finders who once thought they just had an ordinary penny later discovered that their coin was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally life-changing money from a coin most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up. Imagine the thrill of finding such a coin in your pocket change, an old jar, or a box of coins sitting forgotten in a drawer. That's the magic of coin collecting. Every single penny you encounter has a story, and sometimes that story can make history. So whenever you come across a 2012 Lincoln penny, take a closer look. Check the lettering, check the edges, and examine the strike. You never know what you might uncover, from a simple cent to a treasure worth $787,972. The Lincoln penny reminds us that history lives in the smallest details, and fortune often hides in plain sight. So don't throw away your change, don't overlook the pennies. You could be holding a tiny piece of American history, and possibly, a life-changing discovery. This is Coins, where every coin tells a story. If you enjoyed learning about the rare Lincoln penny and want to hear more amazing stories about valuable coins, minting secrets, and unexpected treasures, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Who knows, maybe together, we'll help someone discover the next rare penny worth a fortune. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the Lincoln penny. But not just any penny. We're talking about the rare and surprising 2017 Lincoln penny, a coin that many people overlook, yet it could be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Some of these tiny copper-colored pieces of history have sold for hundreds, thousands, and even tens of thousands of dollars depending on their condition, rarity, and minting errors. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the full story of how this little coin became such a big deal. The story of the Lincoln penny begins over a century ago, in 1909, when the United States Mint introduced the first penny to feature the profile of Abraham Lincoln. It was a major change because Lincoln was the first actual person, not a symbolic figure, to appear on an American coin. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, can still be found on some versions of the coin. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent has undergone many design transformations, from the classic wheat ears on the back, to the Lincoln Memorial design, and finally, the modern shield design we see today. Each design tells a story about American history, unity, and resilience. Now, fast forward to the year 2017. The Denver Mint, marked by the letter D, produced millions of Lincoln Shield cents. To the casual eye, these coins look completely ordinary, shiny copper-coated zinc pieces weighing just 2.5 grams, with Lincoln's familiar face on one side and a bold Union shield on the reverse. But among these millions, a few special coins turned out to be true hidden gems. Some 2017 Lincoln cents have extraordinary minting errors, striking flaws, or rare features that make them extremely valuable to collectors. And that's where things get interesting. There are reports of certain 2017 Lincoln pennies being sold for astonishing amounts, some even fetching hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending on their error type and mint state. Imagine holding a simple 1-cent coin that could be worth $787, $971, or even more if it's in uncirculated or mint condition. That's the magic of coin collecting. You never know what might be sitting in your pocket, waiting to surprise you. To understand why the 2017 Lincoln penny is so special, we need to look at what collectors search for. First, there are minting errors. These can include double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or even missing design details. A double die, for example, happens when the coin die strikes the same image twice but slightly misaligned, creating a doubling effect in the letters or numbers. If you find a 2017 penny where the date, mint mark, or words like, "In God We Trust," appear doubled, you could have a rare treasure in your hands. Collectors pay high prices for coins with visible, strong doubling under magnification. Another type of error that can boost a coin's value is a die crack. Over time, the dies used to strike coins develop tiny cracks that leave raised lines or bumps on the finished coins. Some collectors call these cuds or die breaks. A 2017 Lincoln penny with a noticeable die crack, especially one crossing Lincoln's head, shoulders, or the shield, can easily be worth much more than face value. In perfect uncirculated condition, with strong luster and clean surfaces, values can skyrocket. The composition of the coin also plays a role in its collectible appeal. Since 1982, Lincoln cents have been made mostly of zinc coated with a thin layer of copper. But sometimes minting anomalies occur where a few coins are struck on the wrong planchet, for example, a blank meant for a dime or a pre-1982 copper planchet. If you happen to find a 2017 D penny that weighs more than 2.5 grams, that could indicate it's made from copper instead of zinc, and that means serious money. In the past, rare transitional errors like that have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Collectors also look for coins with exceptionally high grades certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. A 2017 D Lincoln penny graded MS68 or MS69, meaning nearly perfect condition, can fetch hundreds of dollars just because of its pristine state. The cleaner the coin, the brighter the luster, and the fewer the scratches or spots, the more collectors will compete to own it. Remember, out of millions produced, only a tiny fraction remain in perfect uncirculated condition. The Lincoln penny has a special place in American culture. It's a coin we see every day, yet it carries a deep historical significance. It reminds us of President Lincoln's leadership, the value of unity, and the idea that even something small can hold great meaning. The 2017 D penny continues that legacy, proving that even the most common-looking coin can become a rare collector's prize under the right circumstances. Every penny tells a story, of design, production, and the hidden errors that make it unique. If you're interested in searching for one of these rare coins yourself, start by looking closely at your spare change. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to examine the coin carefully. Check the date, the mint mark, and every detail on both sides. Look for doubling on the letters, unusual marks, or anything that looks out of place. If your penny looks different from the rest, don't spend it, protect it. Put it in a coin holder or plastic sleeve and consider having it professionally graded. You never know, you might be holding a small fortune. It's also fascinating to think about how many of these coins might still be out there, tucked away in jars, wallets, or collections across the country. Some people have no idea that their 2017 D penny could be worth much more than face value. The market for error coins and high-grade specimens continues to grow as more collectors join the hobby. Online auction sites and coin shows regularly feature bidding wars over unique pennies, with prices climbing higher each year. Rarity, condition, and demand all come together to create these incredible values. The 2017 D Lincoln penny reminds us why coin collecting is such a captivating world. It's not just about money, it's about history, discovery, and the thrill of the hunt. Every coin has a past, and every collector has a story. From the first Lincoln wheat pennies of 1909 to the shining shield cents of today, the humble penny has evolved but never lost its charm. So next time you get change at a store, take a second look at that little copper coin. It might just be your lucky day. Thank you for watching Coins, where we bring you the stories behind every piece of metal that carries history in your hands. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the rarest and most valuable coins ever made. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Who knows, the next video could reveal another hidden treasure waiting for you. Until then, keep collecting, keep searching, and remember, even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise.